But let's, of course, start with updates from the United States of America, where the world is caught up in Donald Trump's global trade war. There's much more that seems to be happening in the United States under the current administration's goal to implement the sweeping reforms and structural overhaul. So let's take a look as to what is making headlines in America under Trump's presidency at the moment. Now, the U.S. has in fact the U.S. lower house has passed Donald Trump's proposed multi-billion-dollar budget bill, the big, beautiful bill, as he termed it, after the vote was delayed on Wednesday by the rebellious Republicans. The resolution just barely managed to scrape through with a narrow 216 to 214 majority. The two Republicans voted against the budget bill after 24 hours of intense discussions of getting the conservative leaders on board with Trump's budget reforms that include some sweeping tax cuts and also a slash in government spending. The tech billionaire Elon Musk also attended the White House cabinet meeting on Thursday. Now, Elon Musk was being appointed by Donald Trump to head the Department of Government Efficiency, issued a statement on the massive budget cuts in the near future. The Tesla and the SpaceX CEO said that he anticipates saving nearly about $150 billion for the fiscal year 2026 by reducing what he terms as wasteful expenditure and fraud. Now, Trump has in fact tasked Musk with slashing government spending, for which DOGE was specifically set up under the current administration. Now, speaking of budget cuts, the U.S. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth has also announced the Defense Department's resolve to cut about $5.1 billion in terms of spending. Calling it a wasteful expense, the Pentagon chief said that the money spent on climate and diversity initiatives will now be slashed. Now, Pete Hegseth also added that DOGE, headed by Elon Musk, will have broad access to end programs from the previous administration. Now, Hegseth's latest announcement is in addition to his order last month terminating $580 million in terms of spending at the Department of Defense. Now, illegal immigration into the United States will have to mandatorily, all illegal immigrants will have to mandatorily carry documentation and should register with the federal government or face consequences. This development comes after a federal judge passed an order allowing the Trump administration to enforce this as a law. Now, this ruling comes after the Trump administration argued that the authorities are in fact enforcing a mandate that has existed for all non-American citizens. Following the ruling, the Department of Homeland Security has issued a statement asking all non-Americans living in the country for over 30 days to register by Friday. The U.S. Supreme Court has in fact upheld a judge's order requiring Donald Trump's administration to facilitate the return of a Salvadoran man who was mistakenly deported to El Salvador by the U.S. authorities. The Supreme Court, in an unsigned decision, said that the judge's order requires the government to facilitate Abrigo Garcia's release from custody in El Salvador and to ensure that his case is handled as it would have been had he not been improperly sent to El Salvador. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.